All right, Beulah Heights community, as promised last week, I just want to welcome you now to part 2 of Beulah Heights history. I promise you, you're going to be blessed to know what has gone and the investment that have been done in Beulah Heights throughout those 104 years. They chose the two founders who had gone to the Azusa Street for that revival. So these two people were, and also they owned this property. It was Reverend Paul Birth, who was the founder and also became the part of the leadership here from 1918 to 1942. Then his wife, Harriet M. Birth, who was also a founder, became the president from 1942 through 1956. 1942 through 1956. You can imagine that time, what was going on through 1942 when it was the Second World War, when people were being drafted to go to the Second World War in Europe and other places. Still, there's some people were still spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. After Harriet Birth, then came Daddy Keeler. Many of you have heard of Dr. James Keeler. Dr. James Keeler, who has been our academic dean and now is a board member and still serves Beulah Heights in different capacity. His father became president in 1956 all the way to 1971. Then after that, it came Reverend William Hawk Jr. He became president from 1971 through 1976. Then after him, he was followed by Dr. Richard Edwards. Dr. Richard Edwards became president from 1976 through 1989. When I came, Dr. Edward was the president, so I met him. He is an honorable man. He helped to take my kids to school. I don't know how many of you can know about the history of Atlanta. At that time, there were murders of kids who were being killed in the state of Atlanta, and everybody was so afraid. I didn't know. I come from Kenya. I didn't know what was going on, but they were saying, don't let your kids go by themselves. And Dr. Edward and his wife volunteered to take my kid to the same school where his kids were. God bless you, Connie and Dr. Edward, for what you did for Juliet, Robin, and Peter, taking to the school. Then after Dr. Edwin, then came a friend, Dr. Samuel R. Chand. Dr. Chand, if you can see now, we are progressing now. All the this first one were all in black and white. So we started color. So now you can see Dr. Samuel Chand's picture is in color. So he became president from 1989 to 2003. So I'm giving you the history of 100 years. These guys here, 7 of us, have that history of Beulah Heights in our belt. And when I talk about it, sometimes I feel the emotion. Then after that came the guy called Dr. Karanja. You can see Dr. Karanja became president from 2004 to the present time. So I always tell people I'm on my 4th quarter on the 20th yard line. Probably in the next few years we'll be saying, and Dr. Karanja from this year to this year, if God gives me good health, that's my plan, that I want that legacy, not about me, but what can we give or what can we do that God commissioned us to do. I always think that I'll never depart under my leadership, depart from what the founders wanted. And they wanted to train leaders and send them to the world. And now we have expanded, rather than only those 4 countries, we are now in Korea. We are in Tokyo. Who would have thought that is impossible, especially in 1942 when we were in the middle of the Second World War. That one day, the same country that we are fighting with will be benefiting from the small institution that was started here in the United States. And I'm happy that we are there in Tokyo, working with the Tokyo Theological Seminary. We're in Congo. We're in Belgium. We're in so many countries that we are training leaders. So also we have expanded our programs. We not only have the biblical study, we're training leaders in area of business, and that's wonderful. I just want to say thank you again for allowing me to be in your home, to be in your car, or whatever you are. Thank you again for that time, and we look forward to seeing you next Monday. Thank you.